Hello, happy Monday. Got a couple book talks for you. I was out most of the week last week because the pollen was trying to murder me, among other things, but I'm back and I actually got to read a couple of books, so yay. Um, the first one I want to tell you about is called The Companion by Katie Alender. Um, it's a little bit bigger than most of her other books that we have here. She wrote Bad Girls Don't Die, that's a series, Marie Antoinette Serial Killer, and Famous Last Words. I think they're all kind of ghosty, like horror stories. All of her stuff that we have lives in horror, and we put this one in horror also. And it is a spooky story. It's also a little bit of a mystery. The title comes from the main character. The main character is a girl who has recently experienced some horrible trauma. Okay, she was in the car with her family and it ran off the road into some water and the rest of her family was killed. Okay, she managed to escape the car. Everybody else in the car drowned, died, but she was able to drag herself out of the water and was discovered and rescued. But now she's an orphan. She's got some PTSD, nightmares, things like that, some survivor's guilt. So at the beginning of the story, she's in like a foster home, and these people show up and adopt her and or take her in. I think the plan is to adopt her, but anyway, they take her to this giant country estate. It's very snooty and very lush and elaborate and all of that. But they're not just scooping her up. Turns out they have a daughter who has recently developed a mysterious illness where she's like kind of catatonic, but she can still get up and move around and do stuff. But the mom explains that the main character has been brought there to be this girl's companion. Okay, and as the story goes on, you find that there's a lot of weird stuff that's happened in the past with this family. And of course, as these books go, the things are not what they seem. I totally had it pegged about halfway through. I was like, I see where this is going. I know what you're doing here, book. And I was right. There really wasn't any twisty twists or anything like that. But it was an interesting story, and the bad characters were really creepy. And it would be a terrifying experience what she went through. So if you like kind of creepy, old house haunted-y sort of things, then you might like this. Or if you've read any other Katie Allender, then you probably also like this. Even though it's big, it does move very quickly. It doesn't get bogged down in any descriptions or anything like that. It's one of my favorite kind of books are ones where stuff happens all the time, and that's what's going on in this book. Stuff happens all the time. You don't really have any time to get bored, so recommend that. Also, I read Be Prepared by Vera Brosgol. We have another book by this author, Anya's Ghost. So if you read Anya's Ghost, then you want to read something else by that author. Here we have Be Prepared. And Be Prepared is a memoir. So it is a fictionalized account of a period in the author's life. And it is a graphic novel. But it's about a summer where she goes to a Russian Orthodox camp. Okay, her family is from Russia. They go to Russian Orthodox church, and through the church, she discovers this camp. Like, at the beginning of the book, she's talking about how jealous she always was of her friends because her family didn't have as much money as theirs, and everything was slightly less nice and more Russian, and felt a little just off of center. She didn't really feel like she fit with her cohorts at school, but this opportunity to go to Russian camp goes where everybody's going to be Russian and everybody's going to have this in common. And she goes and kind of has a somewhat typical experience of people, going to camp in books. She gets there and she thinks it's going to be this way, and it's not that great. But there are some funny bits, and she does not have a completely horrible time in the end. But it was worth reading. It was cute. So I recommend that as well. And lastly, I just want to share that we have this book that I book talked several weeks ago, We Are Not From Here by Jenny Sanchez. This was the story of Pequeña and Chico and Pulga and their journey from, where do they come from? Argentina? Guatemala. Okay, they're coming from Guatemala through Mexico, trying to get to the United States, and the trials and tribulations they experience on the way. Fantastic, heart-wrenching story, based off of experiences that people actually are having now and over the last several years. So I highly recommend this book. We just got it in, so I'm going to catalog it today, and it should be ready in a day or two. If you want to check it out, you can always email me. Just look Amy Wheatley up in your Gmail, or message us on any of the social media accounts. I'll hold it for you, and then we'll deliver it to you when it's ready. If you're on campus, we'll send it to your fourth period. If you are virtual, then we'll put it in the main office for you to pick up, or we can drop it at your house. Just let me know whichever one you need to do. Okay? And at the end of this week, we're going to have spring break, so woot woot. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.